Because next up is our third speaker, Kathleen Hoffheimer. She's on her evaluation and feedback pathways assignment. She will be using her first part of the assignment to eulogize the most important man in her life. A man whose life she will be honoring on the 6th anniversary of his death, this upcoming Monday. With her pathway speech titled, A Life Well Lived, please welcome Toastmaster Kathleen Hoffheimer.
All right.
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Good morning. This upcoming Monday, February 24th, is going to be an exceptionally difficult day for me and my family. It will be every year for the rest of our lives. That is because 6 years ago, on February 24th, at exactly 12 p.m., we got the call that we knew was coming, but we weren't ready to hear. It was the call that my dad, Jim Hoffheimer, passed away at the age of 63. While we will mourn him on Monday, we will also take the time to celebrate his amazing life, and that's what I want to do today. My dad was born in South Florida, but was raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. He was the third of 3 boys. Growing up with brothers, you would think getting married and having 3 daughters would faze him, but luckily enough, it didn't. My dad was a business consultant. He went to graduate and undergraduate school at Babson College in Boston, where he got his MBA. He worked for a Fortune 500 company in Boston, which is where he met my mom. In 1985, my parents moved back to Cincinnati, where my sister and I were born, so my dad could work in the family business, which made buffing compounds. He also consulted for businesses in North Carolina and South Florida until he opened his own business consulting company, which he ran until his death. There are many words that I could use to describe my dad. The first is smart. When my mom said that when they worked at that Fortune 500 company, my dad would be one of these people that would have one phone in one ear, one phone in the other ear, talking about international finance, and she was so in awe of that, as am I. He was very good with numbers, which came in handy to me when he had to help me with my math homework, because due to my learning challenges, that was the subject in school I had the most difficulty with, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. We would take Trivial Pursuit cards and would try to answer all the questions around the dinner table. And my dad would pretty much get every question right, even sometimes hazarding a guess. And we would be amazed on how he would pull that off. I even got to see his brilliance when I worked as his assistant and saw how he did business. He really was considered one of the smartest people in the room. Another word I would use to describe my dad is funny. Going back to the Trivial Pursuit, sometimes when he would answer the questions, he would make a funny remark just to get a laugh out of us. He loved a good pun, so I think he and Jordan would definitely have gotten along. We would love to watch funny movies together. His favorite was Young Frankenstein, or Frankenstein. When I became an adult, we would sometimes stay up late on Monday nights to watch Jay Leno's headline segments just to see if we thought it was funny or not. Even the slightest remark would make us laugh hysterically. I would consider my dad's sense of humor kind of dry, but it always put a smile on our face. I would also describe my dad as encouraging. Our family motto is, "You can do it." And my dad lived by that. When my dad was a kid, he and his younger brother were diagnosed with a condition called Gaucher's disease, which is where your body lacks enzymes to break down lipids. And so his bones were very brittle, and they could easily break. He had to have enzyme infusions every couple of weeks. He sometimes walked with a cane. He had several surgeries. And in 2019, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, which affected his mobility. Through all of his health challenges, my dad never complained. He always stuck it out and saw it through. And that was a motivator to me when I'm dealing with my own medical challenges. And I try to live by that example. The final two words that I would use to describe my dad are kind and compassionate. He cared about his family, especially myself, my mom, and my sister. He cared about his friends. He was there to always lend somebody a hand when they needed it. He never raised his voice, even if my sister and I deserved it. He put others before himself. He really was a remarkable man. This is one of my favorite pictures of me and my dad. It was taken in 2003 at our Valentine's Day father-daughter dance. These are the memories that I cherish with my dad. Monday's going to be extremely difficult, but I will honor him the same way I do every day, by working hard, never giving up, and celebrating his life, a life well lived. And I'm back to